Point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to
2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team. And second down, that's something I have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Seven yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back. The third manageable with that run.
3rd down. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. Offensively lucky they were able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The quarterback sacked.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Giants' 41.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Now Mostert. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. but a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards, but instead, offense out there. They're going for it. Completes it to Samuel. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. So that is twice on the opening drive that they've gone for it on 4th down, and they've converted both.
I don't know if they're using analytics, which might tell them, hey, more times you go for it on 4th down, the better your odds, the better your chances of succeeding. But let's face it, most teams are not going to go for it twice on 4th down in the first quarter of a game. I mean, we might not see it 2 more times all season.
He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Corey Davis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. This is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
19-yard line.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
10 at the 48-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Niners 7, Giants nothing.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Jenkins. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Intended for
and partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Got his target, Samuel. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Deebo Samuel hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, 2-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it, so a little bit of a turnover. You went right back, though, and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
A little worried about your hands, though.
Yeah.
At their own 25 yards.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
The drive will start with an option going left. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On the option, Jones is going to keep it. And finally, they get him to the ground, but it's all the way down at the Niners' 31-yard line. 36 yards on the play. What a run there. I mean, you got speed, elusiveness, escapability, all rolled into one.
And we all know that quarterbacks are coached to get the ball to the guys who can do all the things you just described. You want those guys who have speed, elusiveness, and escapability all rolled into one with the ball in their hands, and guess what? It's him. So there's no sense in throwing it or handing it off when you can do all of that yourself.
49ers 30-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
42.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown.
To number 83.
from 8 yards out. And the Giants able to get this back within a touchdown.
The extra point.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. That's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Kendrick Bourne, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
And New York set to take the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now Jones, back to the air on 2nd down. That's complete left side to Shepard. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he needed to get to the midfield stripe, but he can't do it. He's about a yard short. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
It'll be a loss of 7 on the play. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 33 yards that time.
Able to hit on a big play right there in the 2-minute drill. Now they've got a chance to use all the remaining clock and build on their lead right before halftime.
Now the big play pushes them all the way out to the 40 now for first down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. That catch good for only a couple. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
A loss of 12 brings up 3rd down.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they will open things up a bit more. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, 84 yards. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go.
Zerline set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 34. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
2nd and 10 here Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
82.
This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
The 33-yard line.
Jones now on the keeper. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Good job starting on that scramble. Had his eyes on that first down marker, CD, but lost the most important thing, the football.
Yeah, wasn't quite there. Focused solely on getting to the first down marker. Forgot to cover up and take care of the ball.
Taking a shot for Samuel. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Take over first and 10.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Looking to throw on second down. Jones. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Hassan Reddick. He brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach? And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
The quarterback taken down and sacked.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on third. He'll look to throw. Winds up and lets it go. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Fielded in the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard
back on offense. New York gets set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Hassan Reddick in on the tackle. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 41-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 41, Jones. And he floats one there, incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 34. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Giants on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A gain of 11.
It's a gain of 11 and a Giant 1st down.
1st down.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. And that's what counts more.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants.
Jones pass.
T.Y. Hilton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead.
Extra point.
And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And the 49er hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort, at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers continue to roll. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. Say, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
23-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
Jones hit and the ball's out.
The pass. Fumble on the play. Recovered by the offense.
Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know when that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A quick throw caught out wide by Bourne. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down. You ready for a Captain Obvious comment?
Let's go. Go with it, please.
He had the 5 picks last week. He's got to be much more pleased. Just the 1 interception. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
And not only is he pleased, his entire team is.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I'm not sure what other ground there is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination, Charles.
They've clicked so well, and if you really focus in on the offensive line, they've protected well when they wanted to throw the ball. They've moved people off the line of scrimmage when they wanted to run it. Smiles all the way around. This offense has been really good in this one.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And down he goes just shy. What that's about. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
Throwing on 1st down. Jones. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24.
A gain of 12.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive. 12 yards. Throwing Jones. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 more yards there and another first down.
First down, Giants.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Shepard. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Pick up of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Catch made. It's Moreau. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Today's final score.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for San Francisco, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just